Well, Doug and Sherry, it's nice to sit down with you and visit with you today, and we appreciate you taking the time out of your schedules to talk about your property here that we're sitting on, and also your experiences with CriXus. So let's start by just talk about your property and where we're at today.
Yeah, so when we moved here 2 years ago, we had a company that was maintaining the yard and did a great job for a while, and then we just slowly started losing confidence in their abilities, and because it is such a large property to keep up, and certainly if you get behind on a certain area or mowing or trimming, it was the detail things he was getting behind on. So we felt like we needed to find somebody that was able to keep up with the property but take a personal interest and personal pride in doing our property.
Yeah, I could see that just walking the grounds here a few minutes ago. There's a lot to take care of and a lot of attention that's required. So we can definitely see that and understand where you're coming from there. So were you able to find someone that could manage the complexity of taking care of a property this size?
Finally, how many did we go through?
Three
different companies to get to
Wow.
this point, and it was a real emotional quest for Sherry.
It was very much. Just wanted it taken care of well. So
Right.
we finally found that.
So I kind of look at it as we found each other. We went through a couple different companies and really liked the people that owned the company but didn't like the quality of their work, liked the quality of work but didn't like the owners, that sort of thing. So I think the way I look at it with Josh is we found each other.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know, with that, when you decided to take that leap of faith, if you will, and hire him on, what were some of the immediate improvements, changes that you saw after he started taking care of the property?
I think you said it best, is the detail.
The detail, yeah.
Yeah.
He was doing the yard the way we would do the yard ourselves, and was real meticulous, was real hard on himself. There was numerous times he would come out here and come back out to do something because he didn't feel like he did it right, and sure, he got an immediate sense of satisfaction and trust.
Yes, because I didn't have to ask him over and over. He just did it.
Very
and
nice.
Yes, did it well.
Yeah, there's to do something like this, there is a great deal of passion that has to be involved. It's just not a job. You can hire anyone to cut grass. You can hire anyone to pull weeds and manage landscape. But for somebody that takes pride in it and takes the initiative, that's great that you were able to find that with him. So talk about your relationship with Josh and the CriXus experience, if you will.
Yeah, I think it's just been very natural. It's just grown into a very natural, trusting relationship, I would say. I first met Josh, we walking down the street. He was doing the neighbor's house, and I immediately warmed up to him and felt a sense of trust there with him. And certainly Sherry was, you were concerned about that, finding the right company that we could trust, and I think we certainly have found that.
Yeah, that seems like to be the ongoing theme, trust. Very good. So, you know, Josh does the cutting of the yard. Obviously, there's probably other people that are involved to keep the appearance of the property looking, other vendors. Are you familiar with the other people that Josh works with to make that happen?
Yes.
And talk about that a little bit, some of the
Well,
other people involved.
Josh is really good about noticing things with trees if they look like there's a problem, and then he gets his Josh. There's another Josh that comes out and that handles all the trees, and he's just great. He's taken really good care, saved several trees.
Yeah, you're referring to Treetop, Josh Finley and Wayne
Finley,
Greenhall.
yes.
So
Great people.
Great people.
Great. So with that, to be able to maintain this and keep up good relationships, the key, not only trust, as you have already talked about, but communication.
Yes.
What's that been like, the communication?
Great.
Has it?
We never have to wonder when he's coming, if he's not coming. He's always in communication with us, and that's really nice.
Yeah, it is nice.
One of the things I really like.
He texts us when he gets to the property, he texts us when he leaves the property, he texts us when he sees something an issue with the property that needs to be addressed. I mean, the communication's just been great. Quite honestly, I mean, we've kind of taken it a little bit further too. There's more of a personal communication with him as well sometimes that goes beyond just the job.
Very nice. Yes, that's nice to be able to have that. I'm just the yard guy, and you're just a property owner that I'm working for. So that's great. So when you came down and you saw the different stripes and things like that on the property, what was your initial reaction to that? You know, you see a lot of yards cut, and you know it's just mowing over the property, but the stripes. Talk about those a little bit.
Yeah, so that's actually new to us. Josh is the one that initiated that. Out of all the other vendors we had, we never had, I guess, a design, if you will, to the grass. It was just mowed, and it always looked decent. But funny, Josh, he makes sure that he brings me out here every time after he mows to see those lines, and it's because it's so important to him.
Yeah.
And quite honestly, it's important.
Proud of it.
He's proud of it. It's important to us too. But sitting up here looking at the property, it looks good. You can see the lines, but the real beauty is when you're out in the boat and you pull up to the property. It's just amazing what he does here, and the pride that he takes in doing his what he calls his product. He terms it as his product. He doesn't just come out here to mow. He delivers a product.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a work of art, isn't it, when you see something like this and are able to appreciate it. So the drones, having a property like this, obviously it's worth showcasing and doing that. So talk to me about that process a little bit. How that all went about, and filming and really capturing the beauty of this place.
Yeah. So when Josh approached me, asked if he could bring a drone out to do the property, I was a little bit concerned or cautious at first because, I mean, privacy, we're pretty private people, so I wasn't real sure what to expect. And he brought Zach out, and they spent some time here one evening when the sun was setting, and just did an outstanding job touring the whole property. And while I haven't seen the final product, I've seen a blurb of it, and it's really a neat process, and I'm anxious to see the final product.
Cool. I can certainly understand that, but we talked about trust and having that trust, and so that was just a kind of a small thing that you did, but you allowed them to do, and hopefully you'll be very pleased with the results. And obviously he's going to use it as a marketing tool too, in order to expose his business to other people. So hopefully that turns out well for you guys, and I'm looking forward to seeing it as well. Talk to me about the way that you've seen the improvement. Have you seen any immediate places that have improved with certain things, certain services that he's paying attention to more so than in the past?
Yeah, I think when we first got the property, we felt it was pristine. We were really proud of it, and we thought that the company did a great job. But immediately when Josh took over, he was showing me areas that where the grass and wasn't real healthy, some of the soil wasn't real healthy, and what he was doing to correct that, and it just had a huge impact on the thickness, the health of the yard. That is immediate. I think probably the biggest compliment there is when my kids come down, they all talk about how much better the yard looks now.
So,
Very
very
nice.
noticeable.
Yeah, don't tell Josh about that.
No.
Like you said, he'll get a big head. So, Sherry, you're here at the property even when Doug's away, and so you have a lot of interaction and communication with Josh. If there is an issue that comes up, how do you feel about how those are addressed and handled?
Really good. I mean, I don't have a problem with calling him. In the past, I would think, oh, I don't want to call, and I didn't like
She
the
would
way
call me and allow me to address it.
But I'm very comfortable with Josh. He responds immediately to things, or makes me comfortable with what's going on, and so it's been great.
Very nice. You could say that he's approachable, and
Oh,
you don't
very
have to call
approachable.
Doug and say,
I
"Hey,
don't.
Doug, you need to handle
I'm very
this."
comfortable calling
good.
him myself.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
The relationship is between the couple. It's just not, a one go-to. It's nice to
Right.
have that
It's very
good
nice.
relationship and that communication between all parties involved.
Yes.
I don't think Josh has left this property one time without asking us, hey, how does it look? Do you need anything? Am I doing anything that I need to change? And how does Sherry like the property? Is she comfortable with the way things are? So he's real in tune
Yes.
to making sure we're happy. And I don't feel like he's just doing that for us. I think that's just the way he does
Yeah,
business.
it's just him.
That's awesome. That's a great compliment to pay to him. So, everything looks great out here now. Do you guys have any immediate plans for things that you would like to do in the near future to the property to enhance it or to change it in any ways?
Yeah, we're going to do a little remodel on the house as far as the structure of the house goes. In terms of the landscaping and things, I think we're pretty content with what we have.
Very happy.
I don't know if we want to change a whole lot there. We have Josh Finley come out twice a year, or so far twice a year, to plant flowers for us in the spring and fall. So we'll continue to do that and upgrade that. But other than that, nothing structural in terms of the landscaping or the yard.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there's really not a lot to add to it. There is such a thing as getting too busy and having too much, but I think that you got a great balance of things and on the property here. So how do you feel about referring CriXus and their vendors and relationships that they have to your friends and family? Would you say that you would be comfortable in doing that?
I tell you, we're probably his best advertisement. We push him. We don't really recommend him. We truly try to get our neighbors to use him because we want to see him successful. We want to see him grow, but he just does a great job and produces a great product that we don't recommend him. We push him on people.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's great to hear. That's excellent. Well, again, we thank you for your time today. Sitting down and sharing your personal experiences, Doug and Sherry, both of you. And we wish you the best and continued success, not only in owning and really enjoying this property, but also on the continued relationships that you have built and entered in with CriXus and so forth. So thank you again for your time.
Thank you. We're honored to do it.
Yes.
Awesome.